I'm the scat man. Yo do do do. Skimmy limmy ding yo do do do. Yo do do ba 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 bee ba 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 do. Ba 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 do. Wee ba 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 do.
Thank the hockey gods. It's Friday. Welcome to Puck Props presented by Bet99. Josh Ingles, Carlo Colaiacovo. Good to see the pumpers there in the chat coming to you after another winning day. Back-to-back runs, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday was a winning day as well. We go.
Nice to be hot. Nice to be hot.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, don't talk about or mention my baseball stuff though. But yeah, hockey.
Okay, one second. Okay, is that hoodie you're wearing? Is it white, gray, or like a mauve purple?
What's your guess?
I hope it's a mauve purple. It's kind of like one of my favorite colors.
I would have taken you as a mauve purple guy, but it is one of those speckled gray ones, bud. Speckled gray.
Okay, well then it's the what do you call it? The lights that you got going on. What do you call it?
The LED lights?
The LED lights, yes.
It's back to that dress. Is it blue or is it black? Remember that craze? That's for us old timers. Oh,
is that the
Lord.
purple powder that K-State uses?
Last call on block shot props, I'm pretty sure, coming up. Lots of 1.5s as the series gets longer. More on the line as the playoffs roll on. Certainly a market we're going to look at today. But before we get to the recap, before we get to today's plays, hit that like button. If you don't, you will lose your bets. That's what Andy Francis told me to say. That's what I'm saying. That's the only way it works. You get the hockey gods angry.
Yeah, you need some good vibes.
Yeah. Watching without subscribing or hitting that like button is akin to coming across this computer and slapping me in the face. That's what that is. Just do it.
Yeah.
Juju from producer Mick. Vegas in a must-win tonight. I would love to. Have you watched those like regular guys doing like a press conference after like a golf game? Right?
Okay.
On Instagram.
Okay.
Have you never seen that? Just like Tom up there, Tom Stewart doing his well, how was your game?
Like a golfer or like a reporter?
Just like a funny guy on Instagram, like an influencer, but he's pretending to be like a regular golfer and he has to handle real presser questions.
Okay.
That's what I feel. Those. That's what I should do after each of my shows. Josh, you had Andrei Svechnikov for over 2.5 shots. He had 2 shots after the first period and finished with 2. What are your thoughts on the scoring system for the shots on goal?
Yikes.
I know. That's what no freeloaders. That's how I feel. If you could get it. Great bet. Just didn't get the things to fall my way. But we roll on. Buffalo 3, Boston 1. Buffalo leading 2-1 in the series, and Alex Lyon is a real problem, Carlo, because he was locked in. He made some big saves down at the end. He is now 80-1 for Conn Smythe. He stole that game. No Norris for Buffalo, but no Osling comes in, gets to that greasy empty net goal.
Mm-hmm.
Is this momentum to Buffalo, or do you see this game or the series just going one apiece each way and maybe going 6-7 games now?
Oh, it's definitely momentum to Buffalo. Because Alex Lyon has returned, the Lion King, right? I mean, he was a difference maker in last night's game, and it allowed Buffalo to sort of weather the storm of Boston early on, keep it close, get their big first goal, and then in the third period, Alex Tuck finds a way to get the difference maker, and Alex Lyon shuts the door. And I think, part of Buffalo's success this year has been the play of Alex Lyon, and it's allowed players in front of him and to have great seasons. And I think, I think we're overlooking Boston. I think not many people expected Boston to give them a series. They're playing Boston Bruins playoff hockey, like in your face, grind it out, gritty, and opportunistic. They couldn't find a way to bury their chances. So I think this could be a huge momentum boost for Buffalo right now.
If you're looking for ice time, all 3 lines, the Benson, Ostlund, Doan, the Zucker, McLeod, Quinn, and the Thompson, Krebs, Tuck line, all played between 9 minutes and 9.5 minutes, 5-on-5 last game. So Lindy Ruff rolling those lines. Tough to take guys like Thompson for points when you can get his line mate Krebs plus 150. We hit that yesterday. What else did we have? I think we didn't have much in that game. The Asperat block shots. He had one early, and then the other guys, absolute, like Peak had two. I believe it wasn't Zadara. McAvoy had 6 block shots, so there were some things to find there. But probably going back to Krebs this weekend.
What would McAvoy's block shots total be?
Everything's kind of at like 1.5 right now, and then the 2.5s are getting really plus money. So it's taken a while to adjust to playoff pricing.
Okay.
But that's where it is. I believe he might be 2.5 plus money to the over, but those guys that just play big minutes, there's your choice. You take guys who just run into pucks because they're playing 26 minutes, or do you take guys like Asperat who doesn't play a lot, but plays defensive roles and just gets plugged with pucks in his role and willing to step in front of a few. So I think we'll take the entire internet jumped on Asperat, so that was dead on arrival.
Oh,
I know. Well, we'll take it. But this is going to be a tight series. Another game in Boston. It's tough not to back Alex Lyon, though, at, I don't know, maybe minus 120 prices. Carolina 2 at Ottawa 1. Carolina commanding 3-0 series lead. Ottawa stinks.
yeah.
They look tired. They look tired in that last game, and it's just 3 games in that Carolina hockey. It might have worn down the top dogs because Timmy Stützle barely had a shot on net. I think they registered one crappy one late in the game. Brady Tkachuk didn't do anything. I don't know if you saw that 5-on-3 they had.
I wish I didn't, but yes, I did.
Is that maybe the worst 1 minute of 5-on-3 hockey you've ever seen?
Horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. They couldn't execute a tape-to-tape pass. They were actually killing the penalty for Carolina by just passing the puck out of the zone. It was
I don't know if I've seen a sloppier final 7 minutes of hockey.
Yeah, it was bad.
There was a spot where I think they pulled a goalie. They dropped Giroux down. They dumped it in. Giroux was 1-on-4, and you hear I was watching the TNT broadcast with who was doing the play-by-play? Not Merles. Who's the other former Pens guy on Spittin' Chicklets?
Ryan Whitney?
No, the other one.
Oh, Colby Armstrong.
I believe it was Colby. Yeah. And he's like, where is everybody? There was no support, and they couldn't even get the 6th guy off the bench. It just looked like a team that was out of sorts late in the game. They had chances, but they just couldn't do it. And again, we get plus 200 on Hall and Stanky, which that price cannot be there again. But if it is, we're betting it at plus 160 or better going forward. The Canes commanding 3-0 lead. And the way we saw Ottawa at the end of the series, or the end of the game, do you think that kind of lackadaisical, we might not have much fight left, comes into game 4?
I mean, this has been one of the weirdest series to try to handicap because you just don't know what Ottawa team you're going to get. I mean, the way Carolina's playing right now, like Ottawa hasn't even played with a lead. So, you saw the defeat in their body language yesterday. And that was a surprise considering they got the extra day off, right? You thought they would be more energized. But after what you saw last night, I think Carolina scoring the first goal, was a big
deflator.
It was a big factor in their win because they took the crowd right out of the game early. And as difficult as it's been for Ottawa to try to generate not just scoring chances, but shots on net, Ottawa having the trail. And then the worst part was that they had tied a game after that horrible 5-on-3. You're like, okay, life in the building, and
2 shifts
back
later.
at it. It's like the next shift, they give up the lead again. It's like, oh my God, you spent all series trying to break through this Carolina defense. And credit to Carolina, they're just finding a way. They're not playing like they're not overwhelming Ottawa. They're not dominating them, but they're just doing enough to win the hockey game.
Andy Francis saying they were invested in game 2. They carried over that loss, but we thought they had the extra day, but it did look like they carried over that loss.
And now with potentially no Jake Sanderson, good luck.
And it really goes back to like who was banged up before the playoffs began too, right? When Shabbat was out, Sanderson was out, like they had Yakimachuk up, like he was playing big minutes. Jordan Spence was playing like 45 minutes, it seemed, tonight. And you wonder how much that's carried over, especially with a late overtime game in game 2. This is a team that looked very tired in the final minutes of that game and couldn't get any pressure when they needed it. If they get swept, if Ottawa goes down in 4 games, is it considered a successful season for Ottawa? Or is it a disappointment?
No, I mean, anytime you make the playoffs, look, Ottawa went through a lot this year, man. Like their goalie was missing for what, a month? Because he had to take a leave. All the injuries that they went through, for them to battle in, like it's still, you're a playoff team. Like that, there's a lot to celebrate in that. To lose 4 straight, yeah, it kind of sucks the life or the wind out of, your group because you're hoping better. I mean, a lot of people picked Ottawa as an upset team, and even just the books, like the sports books and Vegas, like remember before going into the playoffs, they had Ottawa with lower or higher Stanley Cup odds than Montreal.
I know.
So it's still a successful season. You're playing a really good team in the Carolina Hurricanes. I tell you what, man, Gary Bettman's going to have a hard time defending himself about this playoff format if there's three series that end in sweeps. Right? I remember all the talk is, the first round of the playoffs is the best hockey ever. We get the best matchups, the best games, the most games. You get 3 sweeps in the first round. Good luck defending that.
Do you think Gary Bettman's very good at self-awareness and taking accountability? You think Gary's going to put up his hand and say, yep, that was on me, guys? No,
no chance. It wasn't his idea, so it won't be an idea.
No. Habs chat. American analysts suck. TNT ones are a little better. John Buccigross he had a tweet the other day that really pissed me off saying, hey, great job from the ESPN sound guys, because everybody crapping on them at the sound. It's like, okay, like you don't, like, just admit it. Like it's okay. Like the public's not always wrong here, especially when it comes to the ESPN production. It's been rough. Andy Francis, the Sens' meaningless loss against New Jersey 2 weeks ago cost them the first round. They'd be up on Buffalo. Okay. I get you. But there are some spots. You guys are crapping on like who picked Ottawa to win. I obviously didn't. But don't throw Montreal in there. That series is still 1-1. Crap on the people who took Pittsburgh, right? There's people out there, the brackets that have Pittsburgh and Ottawa moving on.
That's true.
You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe the East just isn't very good outside of Carolina.
Well, I mean, who knows?
Like an elite team, right?
Yeah.
Carolina, elite team right now. If you're getting good goaltending out of Freddie Anderson, life is good. Ottawa is wasting Linus Ullmark starts. He's been incredible. I think he's the best goalie in goals saved above expected. They can't help him at all.
I know. It's wasted. It's wasted for sure.
It's the dismissal of the Canes every year, which bothers me. Yes. It's there, as Andy Francis usually likes to say, they are Florida. I think he says this. They are Florida light. Like Florida plays that game a little bigger, a little stronger, a little more sandpaper. But Carolina,
a little more high-end talent too, right?
Yes, right, and they can get away with it on 3 lines, right? They don't like Martinook's great, but like Martinook's not your like third line guy in Florida who can contribute. Different guy, but Timu Florida. Thank you. That's a very good way to say it. Carolina is Timu Florida, but that's not a bad thing for Carolina. That's not a bad thing for Carolina.
That's good.
Yes. Colorado 4, the Kings 2. Colorado up 3-0. No surprise. The Kings have won 5-on-5 goal through 3 games. And Panarin's 6-on-4 power play goals are 50% of this team's offensive production. That 1 5-on-5 goal sunk my bet last night, the Moore and Byfield one. Somehow I can't win an underpoint bet on this team despite them not scoring in the series. Here's my question to you, Carlo. If Colorado sweeps and Minnesota goes 7, is that a good thing or a bad thing for Colorado to have to sit and wait and then play a hot team?
It all depends on how banged up the team coming out of the 7 games is, right? I mean, when you enter playoffs, it's always better when you're in a groove and your body and your schedule is more routined, because you don't want to take too many days off, because then you got to re-engage yourself back into the sort of mode that you're expected to be in come playoff time. So, but again, if Dallas, Minnesota goes 7 games and there's guys that are playing through significant injuries, well, maybe it does pay off, right? So it all depends on how banged up the team coming out of that 7-game series is. If a team that coming out of that 7-game series is healthy and rolling, yeah, it's going to be tough for Colorado to stay at that pace or get to that pace.
Yeah, line to target right now, Colorado, that Landeskog, Waugh, Kadri line. It played the most minutes of 5-on-5 yesterday. Great expected goal percentage. Landeskog with a cheeky one off the boards from the blue line, off a foot and in, but this is a team. Do we have any Nathan MacKinnon points yet?
That's a good question. Through 3 games, there's no Nathan MacKinnon points?
I think there might be one.
I don't know.
I'm on the
find that out?
He does not. Oh, Habs, that's not answering my question. Let me know how many points. I think he might have 1 assist, a power play assist, if I'm thinking about it. But yeah, double check that number, because they don't really need it. McKinnon and McDavid can't be. I think McKinnon has 1. Come on, Chad, help me out here. I could have looked a couple minutes ago, but who wants that dead air? We get going to today's picks. And if you haven't hit that like button, and if you're just scrolling to this point and skipping the early stuff and just getting right to the meat and potatoes, hit
Nathan
that like
MacKinnon
button.
has 1 point in 3 games.
Yeah, 1 assist. Yeah, him and Connor. Lighten it up. Hit that like button. Subscribe. Leave a comment. Do those things right now. Free content for you. That's all I ask. Andy Francis will knock on your door and punch you in the balls if you don't do that. He told me he would do that, so I got to send him the list. Tampa Bay, -120. Montreal. You like Montreal here at even money at home?
Yes.
So do I. Why? Because this is 2 teams with top-end talent that doesn't have a lot of scoring depth, and home ice is so critical in this series to get your matchups and get your big boys out. We saw Montreal play 50-50 hockey versus Tampa Bay with last change. Now they get to come home. They might have the best top line in hockey. I mean, like 1, 2, 3 talent-wise. If they do keep things together, I think Montreal's absolutely in this game. Their power play's been so good that Tampa Bay has to worry about being overly aggressive after scrums. And we've seen it so far, Carlo, that refs are still called game 3. I don't care. I'm still calling dumb penalties.
Yeah.
Right? I think it was the Tkachuk interference penalty last night. Did you see that one?
I did, and I didn't understand even though they went to replay why they still called it, but my guess was that because they went to replay to call something, they had to come out of it with something.
We got to call something, guys on the headsets. What are we doing, Dan? I don't know.
I didn't see anything wrong with that play. I mean, Martinuk sold it, right? I mean, he sold it. He allowed the referees to gather together, and they called it and went to review, and they felt like it was an interference call. I didn't see anything wrong with that play, but yeah, I think
hate these dives though. I think they're starting to bleed into the series across it, not just Crosby.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think the referees probably got to allow each team at home to get some favorable calls before they actually start, clamping down on it. So we'll see how she goes tonight in Montreal, which would be absolutely buzzing.
Oh God, we get Montreal and we get Utah in the same night, right? Like that's awesome.
Yeah, and Anaheim.
I know. So, Habs chat saying I wouldn't use Demidov. Oh, you can do Newhook and Tessier under points. I think it's like -160. Demidov some meat and potatoes. Even if you can't stack it, I would still do Demidov under points. If he gets that power play point, so be it. But outside of that, he is losing his value on this team at 5-on-5 because the emergence of the Anderson line. Galley might somehow find his way back into the lineup today. Probably should. There might be some changes with Tessier and Bolduc maybe Doc, but we got to wait and see. So don't put that in yet. Wait and see what they do with the lines. But I would like to target the Demidov second line, especially now that you're at home, where it's like, okay, here's my choice. Do I go with my Demidov line, or do I go with maybe the Suzuki line that maybe just had 2 shifts off? You're going the Suzuki line all day.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Demidov might do something on the power play. Everybody touches that puck on the power play, but I'll take it. We've seen him miss when that power play goes as well. Hedman and Destow are with the team, but are uncertain still. And if you're looking to price things, we're seeing a 50-point move from the money line in game 2. So I don't know if you know how to price it. 25 points is a lot, but it's at the higher end of the range. So let's say, Carlo, I am even money at home versus a team like Montreal is. If you go to a neutral game, let's say you play an outdoor game and you're using those, and it's the same matchup, same everybody in, then you move that 25 points the other way. So now Montreal is minus 125, or sorry, Tampa Bay, no, the other way. Now Montreal is plus 125 at neutral. You move 25 points away. And then when they go to Tampa Bay, they're now they're plus 150. 25 points neutral.
I see it.
25 points home, but that's on the high end. 20 points is probably it there. So I do think there's value on the 50-point move coming home. Game number 3. I'm really excited about that game Friday night, Bell Center. That's going to be one to watch for sure. And we get 2 early games. Thank you very much. Oh no, we don't get 2 early games. Stupid. We get Utah. Dang it. Friday night.
Early, a middle, and a late.
Yeah, early and a mountain and a late. Vegas and Utah. Vegas minus 115. Let's go. You brought up a good point yesterday about how difficult it was for the Sabres to play that home game when there's so many distractions. Same thing here, I think, in Utah, where everybody's excited. First playoff game there. It's going to be buzzing, but with that comes distractions on the Utah side. Can you go into what some of those distractions are for the players? Their first home game, maybe people wanting tickets and just getting bothered more.
Well, I think the distractions are like, everywhere around town, you probably have people talking about the Mammoth, driving into the game. You're probably going to have people in the parking lots, tailgating, or, there in the building, just, hanging out outside because they're excited for their first ever playoff home game. And then, you probably have family that want to come into town too. And, have to either house them or feed them or, take care of tickets for them. It's a different sort of, a different sort of day-to-day routine that you would deal with on the road. We're on the road. It's like you're waking up, you're eating breakfast, you're hanging out with the team, you're hanging out in your hotel room, you're going out for dinners, you're coming back. Like, it's just, you're doing more stuff on your own without having to answer many other questions on things to do. And I think, look, there's going to be some anxious energy for the Utah Mammoth because they're at home. They're going to be feeling the crowd in their favor. And you wonder if those type of nerves, can maybe just, I remember my first playoff game. Okay. It was in Vancouver. I was coming out to one of my favorite songs from U2, Where the Streets Have No Name. You see the white towels. And I'm skating around the ice and I could barely breathe because I am so excited. I'm so emotionally jacked up. And I needed a little bit to just calm down, right? And you wonder if with a young team like Utah, if they're going to be some of those same emotions in tonight's game. Where Vegas is they got a team that's been there, done that, right?
Yep, agreed. And that's why we're on Vegas at minus 115 here. We'll take Barbashev for the point, playing with Stone and Eichel. Still a good number, the longer series that goes, obviously. More 5-on-5 play. Did have a goal last game. And then we're back on the block shots here. And this is what we did yesterday with Makar and Kulak.
Plus 350.
I know. So here's the thing. Don't put these together. Because put the 2 guys on the same team together, yes, but don't put
all 4.
Yes, because if you get one-sided action, then you're hoping that the ice tilts and it's just team playing defense and you work the other way, right?
Yeah, I guess what you could do is bet both of them as a pair, and then if you've got a little extra to sprinkle, you put them as all you put them all together and just see, maybe you catch lightning in a bottle if both
I
connect.
don't think JPC4 says we're going to put them together. Yeah, I know you will. That's why. So I said don't put them together. If you're going to put them together, put all four of my put all four together, right? Yeah. But I do like these numbers. We're getting the 1.5s on other guys. Was just looking at the block shot numbers. These guys are playing good minutes. I don't think everything's priced incorrectly. It's going to take a little while for the block shot market to get going. And by, I would assume, late round 2, everything will be pretty flat unless other guys are getting different minutes. But those are the angles. Those are the guys we want there. Yeah, plus 210. Plus 350 is big because I believe it's Sergachev. Yeah, I think Sergachev is like plus 145. Or Schmidt. No, Schmidt. I think Schmidt's plus 145. Schmidt. But yeah, all guys playing roughly around 20 plus minutes, which is good stuff. Edmonton and Anaheim, this over 6.5 is now priced minus 150 to the over. Let me know in the chat what the both teams to score 3 is. I'm sure it's probably somewhere in that like plus 120 range, which is probably a good looking bet. Anaheim gets to go home. There currently is no Podkolzin or Kapanen point prop available.
Still.
No, it's coming, but it's just it's not there right now.
Not there yet.
Yeah, it probably got smashed heavily last game, and they're worried about where the pricing is on it because I think someone said last game when we got him at plus 375, said it was plus 550 the game before. So plus 550 to plus 375, and now wouldn't be surprised if they were in that like 210 range, which is a little tricky. But let's go. We're going McTavish and Poling plus 375. Any combo in Edmonton or for Anaheim at home versus Edmonton right now is a great number. 375 is a great look. Poling with a couple points last game. Got it last night at plus 310. Insight says for that Kapanen Podkolzin run. And then here are block shots. Lacombe, Trouba. I don't know if Lacombe has a big C there. I think it does. Plus 190 and Ekholm and Nurse at plus 160. If you're going to get crazy, put all 4 of those together. Mike Matheson was the other guy I liked, but there's just a lower event hockey, less shots in that Tampa Bay Montreal series, less shots, less block shot potential. And Matheson's at 2.5 plus 145. So maybe not a bad single look, but these 2 games, the later games, more shot attempts, higher Corsi numbers. If you're going to put anything together, here's my suggestion. Put the 2 dogs together and put the 2 favorites together and hope that you get game script that works with both of them. Yeah. But I know you'll just put them all together. There's nothing we can do to help these people sometimes, Carlo.
Can't control it.
There you go. Hall Quilt says, Podkolzin and Kapanen point combo, plus 280. If you add Leon Draisaitl, it goes to plus 290. What a deal. What a deal. The Leon discount. Ooh. No, don't ever do that. Plus 280. Like you wouldn't even want to do that just for like injury insurance. It's not worth it.
But not just that. You're only gaining 10 extra points.
Like, yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's no point in doing that. Like if he gets hurt, like it takes that right out of it. But 280, we're starting to come down. Plus 280 still there, though, in a game that should see 7+ goals again if you trust the market and the over going that way. But yeah, Lacombe, Trouba, good numbers there. Ekholm and Nurse, those numbers for these guys will probably go up to 2.5 very soon if they have another good one. At least it doesn't drop anymore. Yes. And that's another thing. Sometimes you can do those, Carlo, and it will drop. You get Podkolzin and Kapanen for plus 280, and then you add Leon Draisaitl, and it goes to plus 260. And you're like, what? Sometimes it goes that way. SGP needs 3 picks. Okay, yeah, sure. I get you. All right, what's your outcome for Edmonton today? Minus 135, quite a bit of juice on the road for a team that hasn't looked great in the series.
Hold on a second. They're minus 35 to win the game?
Yeah, Edmonton on the road, minus 135.
What?
There you go.
That's
Sounds
it?
like that's it. What, you think they should be? You think they're a bigger favorite?
Yeah. They should be.
But there's your 25 points. So 50 points minus 185. Wow. They're probably like what, minus 185?
Minus 250 at home, were they not?
Ooh, let me go over to the Covers matchup page there. But how do you see this series going? Do you think McDavid gets it going? Do you think they can slow down?
I mean, like, anybody who thinks that McDavid is still going to struggle, like, raise your hands. Like, and most of us are just like expect McDavid to break out of this. No,
Minus 110 for 2 points today. Sorry.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, you tell me. Like, I know it's 1-1, and you've given Anaheim hope and life in this series, but I mean, do we really expect McDavid to be a no-show again? That's what I just have a hard time believing.
Edmonton minus 180, minus 175, minus 185 at home in the series. So you're seeing another 25-point swing. Or sorry, 50-point swing total. Still like Edmonton here?
Yeah, I do. I'm not swaying off of it because of one game. I mean, if anything, you got to feel good. It's 1-1 and McDavid hasn't showed up.
Okay. Yeah.
No?
Yeah, for sure. They're scoring and they should be able to score more. I just
Nell Dog. I mean, do we really expect Anaheim to beat Edmonton?
I don't know if we expect it. I'm just saying at that price, I don't know. Is it 55, 45?
I don't know. This is weird. I mean, anything can happen. It's the NHL playoffs. I'm not saying it can't happen. It's just I still feel like McDavid's about to break out here.
Yeah, well, sooner or later it's going to. But I do like that polling and McTavish side. Beckett Seneca just doesn't seem to be getting it going. Hasn't found the score sheet, I believe, but getting decent minutes. We'll see. Why not just bet Edmonton to win the series? But the series price can't be minus 125. The series price has got to be a little shorter than that, no? It's a good look. Let's jump.
Now, Doug, I'm not going to get into a fight over you. Edmonton was up 2-0 in game one and then was down 3-2, and then they came back to win it. I mean,
Doschel stands on his head. I don't think that's happening, sadly. Can he? Yes. Probable? No.
I mean, if you're asking me who to win, who I would bet to win the series, it's still Edmonton.
He's on Edmonton. Let's go. Yeah, so Edmonton's minus 200 to win the series. Minus 150 here. Yeah. Edmonton shaky. Sure. McDavid hasn't stepped up. We'll see how that goes. But Friday night, 3 games, staggered, fantastic. But we get a game in Montreal. Bell Center's going to be as loud as it's ever been. Like, we're talking 4 nations, Canada, U.S. loud. That's how loud that place is going to be. And then Utah's just going to be an entertaining watch just to see what that fan base brings to game 1 of the playoffs. And then Edmonton, Anaheim, if you want to see some goals, stay up because that one could be back and forth. Defense, optional. Freaky Friday from Rich Van City. Appreciate it. Great show today. Those are the plays. I'll put them out on my X. Hit that like button on your way out. Josh Ingles, Carlo Colaiacovo. Puck Props presented by Bet99. Back again Monday with a friend Andy Francis. Have a great weekend. We'll see you then.
Ciao.
I'm the scat man. Yo, do, do, do. Skimmy, dimmy, ding, yo, do, do, do.